Right now, the Madison Fire Department looking to raise awareness of fire prevention, what you should know to keep your family and household safe. Also, Madison Magazine celebrating the best of Madison tonight. We're live at the festivities. And later, we take a look at the impact black voters have on presidential elections, plus what they're saying about the issues as we get closer to Election Day. Welcome to News 3 Now. Thank you for joining us. Eric has the night off. We begin in Walworth County, where the sheriff's office says 2 people are dead after a fire over the weekend. It happened in the town of Spring Prairie Saturday night at around 5:30 on Highway 11. Deputies responded to a structure fire and found the second floor in flames. Crews with the Lyons Fire Department eventually made it to the second floor and found a man and a woman in the apartment there. Firefighters got them out of the building, but were not able to save either of them. The victims are 58-year-old Bradley Chapman and 83-year-old Sylvia Chapman. The county sheriff's office and medical examiner's office are investigating the incident. And Sunday began National Fire Prevention Week, and here locally, the Madison Fire Department is joining in to raise awareness about ways to protect you and your household from fire-related injuries or death. News 3 Now's Kyle Pozorski shares some tips.
When it comes to fire prevention, there is one simple thing you can do to make sure your home is safe, and that is having a working smoke alarm.
The smoke alarm tells you it's time to get out.
Madison Fire Marshal Bill Sullivan says fire injuries and death are preventable. A national statistic states roughly 3 out of 5 fire deaths happen in homes without a working smoke alarm, or none at all. And that's why during Fire Prevention Week, MFD is hoping the public will take action checking their home's alarms. You can do this in 3 steps. First, by installing an alarm in each bedroom and on every floor. Second, testing at least once a month. And 3, replacing when they are 10 years old or when they stop responding when tested.
This one was manufactured in June of 2015, so this one would have about, a year's left of life service left.
Doing these easy steps can save a life.
If everybody took care of themselves first by thinking about, hey, make sure you're standing by your pan when you're cooking, don't go answer the door. Those are the kind of things we want people to be proactive about, and then hopefully then if we're proactive, we don't have to roll the big red rigs.
Sullivan further says the department plans to visit each of Madison's elementary schools for Fire Prevention Week with the goal to get the youngest members of our community informed about fire safety to take back to their homes.
We're getting the calls from parents to say thank you because the kids are reminding us that, hey, we need to have an emergency plan. We need to maybe do some different things on our cooking methods to make sure that we're cooking safely.
In Madison, Kyle Pozorski, News 3 Now.
Kyle, thank you. Detailed ways to take action on these tips can be found on cityofmadison.com/news. Well, President Biden will be in Wisconsin tomorrow. This follows former President Trump's visit to Dodge County yesterday. Biden is planning to stop in Milwaukee to tout his administration's work in job creation and replacing lead pipes. No other details have been released about the visit at this time. Also in Wisconsin this week, Minnesota's First Lady Gwen Walz. She'll travel to Madison and Beloit on Wednesday. She's expected to speak about abortion rights and taxes. Walz's Beloit stop is at 10 in the morning, followed by a noon stop in Madison. No exact location has been released. This is her 6th campaign stop in Wisconsin since her husband joined the Democratic ticket. And happening now, Florida is bracing for yet another powerful hurricane. Right now, Milton is being classified as a Category 5 storm as it makes its way through the Gulf of Mexico. The storm is expected to make landfall as a Category 3 storm sometime Wednesday night. On Florida's west coast, long lines of cars are waiting to fill up sandbags. Officials are urging people to finalize their preparations now and get out of the path of the storm. A state of emergency has been declared in 51 of these 67 counties in Florida. And for the latest on this storm, let's check the first warn forecast with Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington. Alex?
Armand, Milton, an incredible Category 5 storm. Winds right now, if we take a look at our weather maps right now, are upwards of 180 miles per hour. That's sustained winds near the center of that circulation just north and west of the Yucatan Peninsula of Mexico, with gusts over 200 miles an hour. For perspective, Wisconsin, we deal with tornadoes, right? And this is right up there as a high-end EF4 or EF5 tornado. but this isn't a quarter or a half-mile wide storm. This is a large hurricane with winds of upwards of 200 miles per hour. It will move across the southern Gulf. There is some weakening that is expected just before it gets to landfall. In Maine weather, I'm going to talk a little bit about hurricane ingredients, hurricane science, and some of the reasoning behind how Hurricane Milton may weaken a little bit before it makes landfall Wednesday evening. And that's an if. There's a possibility it may stay as a strong Category 4 storm as it makes landfall. Let's plan our weather. Nothing like that here. Beautiful out on the patio. Temperature is right around 60 degrees right now. 8 o'clock, 56. You join Jacob tonight at the 10 o'clock newscast. We'll get down to 51. Cool enough for a little bit of frost. Our friends to the north up towards Juneau, Adams, Marquette, and Green Lake counties may see a little bit of frost, but it's going to burn off quickly tomorrow. Our temperature's going to be on the rise. And when do we hit 80? That will also answer that in Maine weather.
All right, Alex, thank you. Today, Madison Magazine celebrating the winners of this year's Best of Madison with the Best of Madison Taste Party. But there's a special twist this year. Our Jalen Banks is live at the Edgewater for the festivities. Jalen, what's so different about this year's party?
Armand, things just kicked off within the last few minutes or so. The event started at 6 p.m. and as you just mentioned, it's the 2024 Best of Madison Taste Party, celebrating and highlighting those of the winners of the Best of Madison 43rd Annual Readers Poll. As you can see behind me, lots of people here, but it's as Madison as it gets. We've got your adult beverages like your bourbon and your whiskeys here for people to try and taste. We've got your pizza, we've got your cheese, we've got everything going on. Tonight's theme in particular, though, is game show night. So we've got a plethora of tables putting on their best game show impersonations. I've seen a Price is Right table, I've seen a Wheel of Fortune table, and just a few others. I even played a game of Plinko earlier in our Live at 4 show. But for now, I'm going to play the How Much Can I Eat and Drink Before I Get Full show. So for now, I'm going to send it back to you, Armand, reporting live at the Edgewater Hotel at the Best of Madison Taste Party. Jalen Banks, News 3 Now.
1,000 points, Jalen. Good job. Well, coming up on News 3 Now at 6, what a new report is saying about the City of Madison's Seed Grant program. Plus, we take a look at the latest tally from our Codes for Kids campaign. We're back after this.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6, brought to you by Gruber Law Offices.
A truck crash can be life-changing. If you've been injured, call Gruber Law Offices. We have a powerful team with the knowledge, resources, and history of results you'll need. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Brian Stiles said he's proud of his extreme record. So why is he lying about it? Stiles said he was proud to be part of a group pushing to gut Social Security and Medicare, that he proudly supports abortion bans. And Brian Stiles said he's proud to be backed by extremists pushing a total ban nationwide. Peter Barca's backed by police, firefighters, and unions because Peter puts Wisconsin first, no matter the party, and that's something to be proud of.
I'm Peter Barca, and I approve this message.
Get an 11% rebate on everything at Menards. Attract a variety of birds to your feeder with Enchanted Gardens Black Oil Sunflower Seeds. This highly nutritious seed keeps birds coming back. Get a 50-pound bag for only $17.99 after rebate. Get the last roof you'll ever need. Menards Steel Roofing offers superior wind and hail resistance. Plus, it's available in cut-to-your-length panels for fast installation. Get an 11% rebate on all Menards Steel Roofing.
Save big money at Menards.
Kamala Harris is going to significantly raise taxes.
Taxes are going to have to go up?
Kamala's plan will raise families' taxes by nearly $2,600 a year. Under Kamala, prices have already soared. Now she'd make it worse with even higher taxes.
Taxes are going to have to go up?
President Trump will cut taxes again. No taxes on tips, overtime, or Social Security.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
The final sprint to Election Day is on, and News 3 Now this morning is focused on the races and the policies that matter to you, the voter.
We're taking a look at both sides of the issues and where the candidates stand so you can cast your vote with confidence.
3 for the people, only on News 3 Now. You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
Welcome back. The donation period for the Coats for Kids campaign is over. News 3 Now, Clinky Cleaners, the Boys and Girls Club of Dane County, and Magic 98 all want to give you a big thank you to everyone who donated. After a great final push of donations, we collected 2,776 coats. We're still waiting to tally up the coats that were bought off the Amazon wish list, so hope to have a final tally for you soon. Now we're focusing on our distribution event. It's happening on Friday, October 25th at 3 Boys and Girls Club locations. Allied Family Center in Fitchburg, Erica and Anthony Fleming Boys and Girls Club in Madison, and Mackenzie Family Boys and Girls Club in Sun Prairie. The events run from 9 to 6. And a new report from the City of Madison's Seed Grant program is successfully bringing more healthy food options to communities. The program has been in operation since 2014. It provides small grants to support new or emerging projects through the Madison Food Policy Council. Around $50,000 in grant money is dispersed every year with a maximum award of $10,000.
The report found that some of the people who had received grants in the past said, they had an initial grant of $3,600. And since they've started that program, they've been able to grow that enterprise into something that's got an annual budget of more than $167,000. So, it's that first small investment that really helps kickstart these initiatives and helps them grow to do that good in the community.
The application process for next year's funding will soon start again. If you would like to apply, just head to the City of Madison's webpage under the Economic Development Division. Still ahead, our 3 for the People coverage continues to look into issues leading up to the 2024 election. After the break, we hear from Black voters on their thoughts on the presidential race and how they could determine the results in November. And have we seen the last of the warm temps? Alex has the answer and his complete forecast when we come back.
When it comes to winning internet, TDS is in a league of our own. Just like the Green Bay Packers. Wisconsin born and bred, we live, work, play, hire, and get involved in the communities we serve. Like delivering the green and gold standard of internet. 100% fiber internet that's as fast, powerful, and reliable as your other hometown favorite, the Packers. TDS, internet that's built Wisconsin strong.
I'm a nurse in Wisconsin, and my patients don't want politicians like Eric Hovde making their healthcare decisions.
I am totally opposed to abortion.
Hovde means what he says about opposing reproductive rights.
Eric Hovde supported overturning Roe v. Wade, which led to an abortion ban in Wisconsin.
And that's a ban with no exceptions for rape or incest.
What Hovde supports criminalizes abortion and doctors like me.
We need to vote against Eric Hovde.
Win Senate is responsible for the content of this ad.
Happy anniversary! Join us for our anniversary sale.
And help us celebrate.
We're having our biggest sale of the year with savings throughout the showroom.
Where you can save big.
And you can save big.
You can save big. You can save big.
On quality home furnishings throughout the showroom.
Join us for our anniversary sale.
Wanakee Furniture ETC. Bringing quality homes since 1996.
Peter Barca dishonored our service and America's commitment to veterans.
And Congress, Barca voted to cut our benefits, impacting our lives, our families. It's just wrong.
It's just wrong.
Veterans can't trust career politicians like Peter Barca, and neither can you.
Brian Stile will always work to protect veterans like me.
Brian is not a career politician, he's a fighter, and he's always working for us.
I'm Brian Stile, and I approve this message.
Prices are up, wages are down, inflation is crushing Wisconsin families. Yet Sarah Kieski, she supports lifting revenue limits, allowing property tax rates to skyrocket unchecked. Even more radical, Kieski's backers want to ban natural gas to heat our homes, driving utility bills through the roof. Tax hikes and higher prices for families and those living on fixed incomes. That's Kieski's record, expensive and extreme. Reject Sarah Kieski and her radical agenda.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
Continuing our 3 for the People coverage. Every vote counts during elections, but a group that's talked about a lot is the black vote. How important is it? Our Tanisha Shaw is breaking down what black voters care about and what makes their vote unique.
They know that they have to kind of go further lengths to try to get
and persuade black people to vote for them.
Black American voters in Dane County are speaking out ahead of Election Day.
I'm just excited for someone to get into office and to recognize that they have a specific group of people that need more resources.
I sat down with voters at Be Right Barbershop in Sun Prairie and members of UW's African Student Association. They talked about dozens of issues, like the economy and inflation.
Yeah, you got people trying to manage and budget their money a little bit more nowadays. You know, I used to have clients that get a haircut almost every week. Now you got clients that are trying to get a haircut once a month.
To immigration.
There's no security at the border right now. The border is just a mess. Even though we're all the way up here in Wisconsin, we're seeing a lot of more immigrants and different people coming up into this area.
And affirmative action.
I was accepted through affirmative action. Like, you know, there's still so many barriers to jump through. There's still such a low number of us. There's really not even enough of us here.
Along with the wars on the other side of the world.
It's definitely a big priority, and amongst most of my peers, I would also say it's a great priority to them. But unfortunately, I do feel like many of us feel almost hopeless in a sense that no matter who we vote for, we might not see a distinct change.
Every vote counts in a swing state like battleground Wisconsin. Last presidential cycle, Black Americans accounted for 5% of the vote, having a strong impact on the winner.
The turnout in 2020 in Dane County was 80%.
David Cannon is a retired political science professor from UW-Madison and says those numbers were phenomenal.
90% of black voters voting for Joe Biden and 80% turnout, which was even a little bit higher than Milwaukee County and higher than the statewide average.
Since Milwaukee County has the largest black population, their votes play an important role.
If you go back to the year 2000, all of the elections, except for the two involving Obama, have been decided by 1% of the vote or less. One of the decisive factors in all of those elections is the turnout in Milwaukee County. Because in Milwaukee County, the black vote has traditionally been about 90% Democratic. And so if you get a higher turnout in Milwaukee, you know, that every single percent of the vote is thousands of votes for the Democratic candidate. And so that can be really pivotal.
What makes the black vote around the U.S. unique is a trend.
There is a particular framework that social scientists have talked about called linked fate, where the belief that their interests are aligned with their group interests. So while many other voting blocs think of their own self-interest to vote, many black Americans think about their own livelihoods and their group livelihoods, and that's often linked with their own self-interest. Because the black vote matters a lot more than we are led to believe that it does.
Do you think the candidates are aware of that?
Yes, I do think they are aware of that, and I think often it's being taken for granted.
In August, former President Donald Trump spoke at the National Association of Black Journalists.
I love the black population of this country. I've done so much for the black population of this country.
Donald Trump brought out the young African-American woman to one of his rallies to speak on his behalf. I think she worked at the Chick-fil-A or something like that. Kamala had all of the celebrities come out to her presidential rallies or events that she had.
Harris also spoke to members of NABJ and announced a tour to historically black colleges and universities.
Democratic politicians are expecting for people to vote, black people especially, to vote the Democratic ticket. And kind of absolving themselves from that responsibility to do something different.
Some felt as though this is appropriate.
Which is, I think, great in getting like a younger audience and minority voters, seeing people that look like you endorsing Kamala Harris.
While others disagreed.
I think that it was kind of offensive for her to use black entertainers in that way. I just want them to not only care about black people when it's election time and care about them while they're also in office.
A big factor energizing black voters is representation.
They have never seen what it looks like to be a black woman holding a powerful seat like the president. And that galvanized a lot of people, that people were curious about it.
Using the pain from the past to empower themselves at the polls.
At one point in time, we wasn't able to vote. So to be able to walk into a poll and vote, I think every black person should be proud to do that.
It's important for the black community to remember that if we deem representation to be important to us, then that begins with representation at the polls.
Reporting in Madison, Tanasia Shaw, News 3 Now.
Well, it's starting to feel more like fall out there. Here's Alex with a complete forecast.
But not for long. We've got these nice crisp past couple of days yesterday and today. But look at this, 70s are going to return this week, 80 by Friday, dry through Friday. Those are the three things you need to get out of our forecast, which really has been our theme for some time, temperatures and water. Temperatures tonight, right around 60 degrees right now. It's just outside in the patio. Refreshingly cool, 8 o'clock at 56. Join Jacob tonight for the 10 o'clock newscast with temperatures around 51 degrees. Cool enough tonight, we could see a little bit of patchy frost to the north of Madison, Juneau and Adams. Marquette and Green Lake counties are close enough too that you might have a little bit of that patchy frost. We'll track the temperatures together. 37 in Camp Douglas, 41 to start off the day on Tuesday in the Dells, 42 Madison, 40 in Janesville, and 42 in Platteville. We warm up. We see the yellows and golds come into southern Wisconsin, 69 in Madison, 69 in the Dells, so that frosty start up towards Camp Douglas at 68. Well, that will be short-lived with temperatures into the lower 70s over southwestern Wisconsin. Rest of our forecast, a little bit of a roller coaster here. We go up to 81, summer-like on Friday. We cool down back into the 60s over the weekend, maybe only 60 degrees next Monday, so a week from today, but that's normal. That's normal for this time of year. Later next week, temperatures going back up into the upper 60s to near 70. Largely dry for the next 10 days. Just slight chances of rain Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and then maybe a shower or thunderstorm next Thursday. Speaking of rain and tropical systems, all eyes on the Gulf of Mexico. I have family myself that live on the west coast of Florida, which I have notified that this is a very strong storm that's heading towards Florida, and I want to go over a little bit of hurricane ingredients. What do you need? You need warm sea surface temperatures. You need minimal land impact. So as a hurricane impacts with land, it breaks the system down. So do strong winds high up in the sky. We call that the jet stream or those upper level winds. Hurricanes don't like that. But here, this is just lukewarm bath water right now, where Milton is right now, just north and west of the Yucatan, did rapid strengthening from a 1 to 5 over a very short period of time. That bath water exists all the way up to the west coast of Florida. So this warm sea surface temperatures are going to continue. When you see a concentric circle like this is the satellite imagery with a very compact eye. That is a sign of a very intense hurricane with winds at 180 miles per hour sustained, gusts to 220. As it roars off towards the east, we're likely going to see Milton expand in size. That could increase the storm surge potential, but it may encounter some shear, some winds higher up later in the forecast period that may act to weaken at least the wind part of the storm. Hopefully that's the case as it moves off towards the north and the east. But I just wanted to cover a little bit of that hurricane science here. Our recap of our forecast: warming up to 81 on Friday, a little cooler towards the weekend, normal by Monday at 60, and then warming back up with shower and thunderstorm chances very low through the 10-day.
And still to come in sports, Luke Fickell talks about a much-needed win for Wisconsin and the request he made to his offensive coordinator right before Jump Around. Next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Nobody wants to think about cold weather, but now's the time to winterproof your home. Is your house cold every winter? Your home needs foam. Are your heating costs too high? Your home needs foam. Do you have different temperatures in different rooms? Your home needs foam. USA Premium Foam is over 35% more efficient than ordinary, weaker insulation. Winterproof now and get 0% financing for 72 months.
USA Insulation.
This shouldn't take too long, should it?
Oh no, I have the unit up and running in a jiffy. Oh, sorry, I have to go to the shop and get another part. Sorry, I don't have that part either. Sorry, I don't have that part either.
But you said it would be quick.
At Cardinal, we respect your time as much as you do. That's why our technicians come prepared with fully stocked trucks, ready to handle most issues in just one visit. Discover the difference. Call Cardinal.
At DePaco, your health and happiness are as important to us as your financial well-being. So when you're ready to take the first step, we'll help you make a plan and transform it into a lifelong commitment. Well-being is the key to a life worth loving. So when you think about yours, remember that DePaco can help you be well.
Senator Baldwin claims she's doing something about the fentanyl crisis and says she got a major fentanyl bill passed. But Senator Baldwin is lying. The bill's main sponsor, Senator Tim Scott, had this to say.
As the primary sponsor, I've never had a single conversation with Cammie about this bill, period.
Career politicians like Senator Baldwin are always lying about something. Senator Baldwin, she's extreme, radical, and wrong.
I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message.
Joan Baldwin wants to ban abortion, even in cases of rape, incest, and when the mother's life is at risk.
And would jail doctors who perform them.
Baldwin voted to ban birth control, too, and to deny rape victims emergency contraception.
Banning all abortions and birth control? No one wants to tell you what to do with your body more than Joan Baldwin.
But she can't tell you what to do with your vote.
Don't look now, but basketball season is right around the corner. Case in point, today the Wisconsin men held their annual media day where they answered all of our questions of all different kinds. And the theme for this group, well, so far it's been competition. They've been getting after it in practice, and you could say the Badgers are looking forward to their season opener on November 4th against Holy Cross.
I'm constantly saying, like, 31 days until our first game, and November 4th is our first game. October 30th is our River Falls, 20th is Red White. Like, I've got everything in my head. Like, I'm really locked in, and I'm really excited about, you know, actually being a Wisconsin Badger.
We're excited to start practicing and playing against people, not with the Wisconsin across the chest. Kind of getting sick of that, but whatever. I mean, it's been fun to get better with these guys.
The temps are dropping and the leaves are changing. I think I could say that, Alex. We'll talk about it later, but I think it's feeling like fall. This to say, this weekend, Luke Fickell decided to break out his grill and serve up his very first 50 burger. The Badgers bludgeoned the Boilermakers, winning 52-6. The offense was electric, scoring 3 times through the air and 3 more on the ground. It was a get-right game for Bucky, and boy, did they ever get right.
Really was an impressive day and a day that we needed in a lot of ways. So I know for myself, I just bring it back up to the 41 seconds to go in the end of the third quarter, and I was trying to communicate to our offensive coordinator to run the football so that we could get to the fourth quarter, and for the first time I could head down and enjoy jump around a little bit.
And one of the standout performers in that high-flying win was Wisconsin freshman wide receiver Tretch Kekahuna. He was named the Big Ten's Freshman of the Week. His career day included 6 receptions for 134 yards and 2 touchdowns. I was thinking about it. Usually when you get sent to AAA, it's not a good thing, but here we are with AAAs, and I'd say it's a pretty good thing.
Yeah, it's awesome. We just got a picture before you did sports.
Yes, we did. Now we got our A with the forecast.
Yes, beautiful weather this week. A little frost potential overnight tonight, but our temperatures climbing back up to near 80 degrees by week's end.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again on News 3 Now at 10.